The game Tower of Trials was losing its popularity due to its extreme difficulty. Jin Hyuk was the first person to successfully conquer the game. However, one day, Tower of Trials became a reality, and human lives were threatened. Only Jin Hyuk had the ability to prevent this catastrophe, but he had no intention of saving the world for free. He was determined to reap all the riches, followers, and fame of an S-grade hero. But did his new abilities drain away his humanity, or did he gain those powers because he was becoming a monster? Trash game refers to a game that simply isn't fun, or is unbalanced, or has subpar administration or absurd difficulty levels. The virtual reality game Tower of Trials is in this category. When the game was released, Korean gamers, whose hobby was to conquer the game before the developers even expected them to, got on the grind to conquer the game. But once 3 years had gone by, people just stopped playing the game because they started realizing that it was completely unbeatable. This game was not intended for fun, rather it was almost like torture for those who played it. However, there were still pros who continued to play this impossibly difficult game, including Jin Hyuk. Luckily, he became the first person to have cleared the Tower of Trials after 11 years devoted to it. Then the game system announced that there would be a reboot to update this version, but Jin Hyuk decided to quit the game because the salary of $500 a month as a streamer wasn't stable enough, and he was already 27 years old. So he planned to post a notice that he was quitting the job, but suddenly the Tower of Trials became real, and everyone was notified that they had to clear the next floor within 90 days or humanity would perish. Before we continue, take a moment to answer the question of the day: what's the best skill from a manhwa? Comment down below for a chance to be shouted out. Now back to the recap. The news was bombastic, but our lead quickly made up his mind. He rushed out to items, and on his way out, he felt a strange excitement filling his heart. Jin Hyuk made his way to an underground mall where, in the game, there was an event station. There he saw a bunch of people already waiting and immediately knew that these people had also played the game. All of those people were fully on guard as the item was extremely limited in quantity. Then, a nicely dressed man approached Jin Hyuk. He was the CEO of the streamer agency that Jin Hyuk was signed on to. Knowing that Jin Hyuk had spent a great deal of time on the game, the man offered him a collaboration to gain more of the item. But Jin Hyuk, who worked under the slavery-like contract of the man's company, immediately knew his ill intentions, so he just punched the guy in the face. Suddenly, from the ground, a mangrove grew tall and lush. It immediately fruited, and these were the magic fruits that gave strength, agility, health, and magic stats. The other players immediately fought for the fruits, but Jin Hyuk stood calmly on the side. Most people didn't even know about the fruit. Those who played the game a few times focused on getting the fruit, but Jin Hyuk enjoyed the more sadistic and perverted process that followed. He thought that eating the mangrove fruit would increase his agility and power, but it turned out that the fruit was deadly. Anyone who ate it would die. Jin Hyuk planned to work with Lee Jong-soo to distract the tree and make it easier to approach. However, Jong-soo betrayed him and refused to attack the tree with Jin Hyuk after they had agreed to do it together. What a jerk. Jin Hyuk knew that the tree would attack whoever stood farthest away, and secretly laughed about the fact that Jong-soo was the one attacked by the tree. Jin Hyuk then used his exceptional memory of the tree's attack patterns to take advantage and access the core of the mangrove. Finally, the core of the mangrove was revealed, exactly as Jin Hyuk had experienced in the game. However, this was just a mob event that did not provide any experience. At best, it was only giving a spot in the Hall of Fame. Jin Hyuk was attacked by the tree from many directions, but he had nothing to fear because he had repeated this process many times before. When Jin Hyuk was close to winning from the tree, a flock of butterflies flew out. They were the sleep butterflies that spread sleeping powder, so Jin Hyuk had to fight while holding his breath. Finally, he defeated the mangrove. Jin Hyuk finally got his hand on the tree orb, the truly precious item that he came for. This item was no less than a hack for players, as it gave stat points 4 times higher than that of fruits. Jin Hyuk ate the orb and checked his status interface. As expected, he achieved 12 stat points and was no doubt the strongest level 1. Later on, when the clip of Jin Hyuk defeating the mangrove was uploaded with his face censored, the forum exploded. Everyone was stunned by his combat skills. Jin Hyuk also received tons of offers from companies with sky-high salaries. Just yesterday, Jin Hyuk was hardly getting by, but now he knew that his knowledge and experience were invaluable. Ignoring the appealing offers, Jin Hyuk planned his next move, to collect the replicas of the holy items at the National Museum of Korea. That night, entering the museum and having expected that other top players had already made it there, Jin Hyuk was fully on guard. People came to the National Museum of Korea for the Great Map of the Eastland, the map now imbued with magical energy and containing information about the Tower of Trials. It shows where the mazes and ruins are and explains which monsters and items are found inside them. While everyone was fighting to get the map, a strong man walked up and ordered everyone to stand still, threatening to kill them if they moved. He was confident because he had an awakened, unique ability. Before anyone could find out what his ability was, an old man claiming to be a kind and peaceful person approached him. The young man arrogantly threatened to break the old man's neck like a chicken, but his mouth brought him misfortune because the old man had magic fire type and could turn the young man into coal with just one finger. The old man collaborated with a girl who seemed beautiful but had a dark and sinister power. She had a miniature black dog and threatened anyone who moved would immediately become enemies and be killed by her monster dog. The monster immediately grew larger after being released and frightened everyone, causing them to retreat and give up on the map. However, Jin-hook walked boldly in without fear and picked up a historical document, which really irritated the girl. Anubis attacked him, and to the girl's surprise, Jin-hook easily deflected the spear with bare hands. The girl lost her confidence and snotty attitude. She hastily took out her other Anubis statues, to which Jin-hook expressed that he was impressed, though it was clear he meant it sarcastically. If you can't tell, he knew well that the gap between him and the girl was way too large. Jin-hook smiled confidently, and the girl was enraged by his disrespectful attitude. She commanded the Anubis to attack him, and Jin-hook threw an ancient painting out and inserted his mana into it, activating the Pinewood Tiger. The tiger easily ate up the Anubis Jin-hook's new way of using artifacts, and his powerful magic was threatening to the girl. She kneeled due to the overwhelming fear, but Jin-hook won the fight. He came over to the girl and asked her to hand him something. The girl pretended that she didn't know what he was talking about, but Jin-hook simply said it out loud. He wanted the mask of Tutankhamun. The girl refused, saying that the mask is useless in Korea, but with the threat of the tiger, she gave in and handed Jin-hook the artifact. He left the place, aiming for the strongest skills in the game. After leaving his tiger behind to guard the others against following him, Jin-hook went upstairs and met the old man. They saw a one-star barrier that was resistant to physical and magical attacks. However, there was a way to destroy it, but there was a condition. The old man had to use his flame magic constantly to weaken the barrier until they went inside and came back out with all the necessary relics. Jin-hook was weak and couldn't hold the magic for too long, so, even though the old man might not believe him, it was the best option for that moment. Jin-hook promised to give the old man the map in return for something else, which made the old man trust him. When he entered, he found a cabinet with a broken sword inside, indicating that someone had been there before and was the one who put up the barrier. However, Jin-hook didn't care about the sword. He was looking for the chain coins from the Joseon era to combine them with two other relics to create the most powerful weapon in the Tower of Trials, the Eye of Truth. This artifact allowed him to copy and store the many abilities that exist in this world, as well as using those skills to create even stronger ones. Meanwhile, the old man was struggling to hold the barrier for a longer period of time. Jin-hook wanted to copy the ability of the old man, and the copy condition was to reveal the old man's true feelings to piss off the guy and copy his ability. Jin-hook revealed to him that his spending up his flame all the while was useless. Then Jin-hook even burned the map. This was also to get rid of the possibility that someone might gain the map and any advantages over him. Jin-hook wanted to secure his leading position. The man was furious and swore out loud. Jin-hook took the chance and immediately copied his fire elemental skills. The man wanted to attack Jin-hook, but he was astounded to see Jin-hook using his exact power with much stronger intensity. The man instead just gave up before leaving. Jin-hook ordered the man and the girl to level up while waiting for him to contact them. Heading home, Jin-hook was extremely pleased with all his gains. He was planning on gaining the next skills when his stomach started growling, so Jin-hook decided to drop by a local shop for gokba. In the shop, people were discussing the passing away of many people at the national museums of many countries last night through the news. Jong-hyuk learned that the government had established something called the Awaken Association in response to the Tower of Trials incident. Nationwide recruitment was open for those with powers, and the association's president also announced special treatment for Jin-hyuk if he were to join them. But Jin-hyuk had no intention of joining others, no matter what. In this world, the value of a single well-trained individual was worth more than that of 100 average ones. The Tower of Trials had opened, and as a celebration for entering the tower, each player was provided with 100 coins, the currency used within the tower. Players could upload videos showcasing their accomplishments and earn 100 coins for every 10,000 views. However, cheating or manipulating view counts would result in punishment. The more famous a player became, the more coins they could earn. Everyone was in a hurry to clear the tower as quickly as possible and be ahead of the others. However, for Jin-hyuk, sharing information with others would be a greater loss than earning coins. Jin-hyuk came to Labyrinthos, which was amazingly designed by Daedalus in Crete, famous for its confusing layout and various traps to discourage people from entering. A group of people had spied on Jin-hyuk and saw him open the labyrinth without a key, proving that this floor was not that difficult. Some were afraid that Jin-hyuk would not share the items with them, so they plotted to let him have his eternal rest inside the labyrinth. What will happen next? Find out next time by staying tuned for our future recaps. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more great recaps.